Story writing using a line or title. At the end of this lesson, you will learn how to identify the main elements of a story. Write the outline of a story based on the given title or introductory line. Write the story as a composition.
Good morning, Zizi. That looks like a heavy pile of books. Are you planning to spend Sunday morning doing school homework?
Good morning, Grandma. I'm not doing any homework today. I am referring to these books to come up with my own story. I have been chosen to enter a story writing competition.
Aha! That's a wonderful opportunity to put your imaginative mind to work and yarn a tale.
Yes, Grandma. I am very excited about this. Will you help me understand what I need to do to write a winning story?
Of course I will, Zizi. Last time, we learned how to write a story from a given outline. Do you remember what we learned?
Yes, Grandma. I surely do remember. But in this competition, I have to write a story based on a title given to us.
What title have you been given for this competition?
It is Time and Love.
A good one to begin writing. Let's get started. A story is a written account of an event or a course of events. It is usually written in a narrative style to describe an event that has taken place in the past. A story can be developed from a given introductory or opening line. Let us look at some examples of an introduction. The atmosphere looked creepy as strange noises were heard all around. The car came to screeching halt right at the doorstep of the tiny cottage. The boy cried out, "Hurrah! I'm back home!" Alternatively, a story can also be developed from a given title. For example, titles such as The Mystery of the Missing Coins, Frisky, The Fox, and so on. You need to remember the following points when you write a story based on a given title. The title of the story provides the basis for the main characters and events in the story. The title should be interesting and easy to remember. Write the title using title casing in which the main words begin with capital letters. Avoid the use of quotation marks and punctuation marks in the title unless it is a sentence. The title that Zizi has received is Time and Love. Now we have to come up with ideas to form a rough draft or outline for your story. To develop an outline, think of a plot or a theme for the story. The plot or theme gives a basic idea about the story. Once we think up a theme or a plot, we then need to write down the main points of our plot or theme to create an outline. We will then arrange the points in a logical order. Connect the points naturally using appropriate words so that the story will read as a well-written piece of composition.
Grandma, I have no idea how to write a story just from this title.
I'll help you, Zizi. We will think about the plot and then jot down the points to make an outline for the story.
We could show time and love as living characters. They stay on an island with other feelings like happiness, sadness, knowledge, richness, vanity. How does that sound?
That would be nice. It seems like a good introduction to the story. We can build up the story now. We can name the island as Feeling Island. We can have the island sinking and all the feelings leaving the island.
That's great! All the feelings make fancy boats and sail away, but love decides to stay back. When the island sinks, love asks for help from all other feelings, but no one helps.
Good going, Zizi.
In the end, love is rescued by time. Then we can have a moral to the story.
That sounds like a great theme.
Okay, Grandma. So now I need to write down the main points of this plot, right?
Yes, this will help us to create an outline for our story.
I'll write them down. Grandma, I have finished writing the outline.
That seems like a good outline to your story. Now, based on your outline, you can begin writing your story. Throughout your story, you need to keep in mind the following points to make the story more lively. You have to ensure that you present the living and non-living characters in the story as speaking and behaving like human beings. This will bring your story alive and make it very interesting. Also remember to give names to the characters or places that you include to make the story more identifiable. Use direct and indirect speech or a series of dialogues when introducing conversations between the characters of your story. For example, Love asked, "Sadness, let me go with you," is a sentence that is in direct speech. The same sentence in indirect speech will be, Love asked Sadness if he could go with her. I hope that you have understood the points to remember about story writing.
I have, Grandma. May I start writing the story now?
Yes, you may. The format of a story is similar to that of a composition. A story is divided into 3 parts. The introduction, that is the beginning, the body, that is the middle, and the conclusion, which is the end of your story. All 3 parts need to be carefully written, including relevant details, so that you have a well-rounded story. We begin the story with an introduction. Remember that the introduction of the story is very important. The beginning should be striking and must invoke many questions in the reader's mind.
Alright, Grandma. I'll start with the introduction. I'll read it out once I finish, so you can correct me if I have gone wrong. A long time ago, happiness, sadness, knowledge, richness, vanity, love and time lived on a small island in the middle of the sea called Feeling Island. One day, there was an announcement that the island was going to sink. The feelings were terrified, and all except Love decided to construct boats and leave the island. Love wanted to hold on until the last possible moment. When the island had almost completely sunk, Love decided to ask for help.
Well, Zizi, the beginning of your story is very good. Now you have to write the body of your story. You must develop your plot in the body of your story. Make the story interesting by adding dialogues, character descriptions, and actions in a logical and clear manner. You can also use interjections and contractions in the conversations to make it more interesting.
Love looked around and saw that Richness was passing by in a grand boat. Love said, "Richness, can you take me with you?" Richness answered, "No, I can't. There is a lot of gold and silver in my boat. There is no place here for you," and sailed away. Love then decided to ask Vanity, who was also passing by in a beautiful vessel, for help. He said, "Vanity, please help me." Vanity looked at Love and said, "I can't help you, Love. You are all wet and might damage my boat." And she haughtily sailed away. Sadness was passing close by, so Love asked, "Sadness, let me go with you." "Oh, Love, I am so sad that I need to be by myself," answered Sadness and just drifted past. Then Love saw Happiness pass by. He called out to her, but she was so happy that she did not even hear his call for help. The island was now rapidly sinking, and Love despaired that he would go down with it if no one helped him. Just then, he heard a voice calling out to him. It said, "Come, Love, I will take you." It was an elder on a rugged boat. Love felt so blessed and overjoyed that he even forgot to ask the elder where they were going. When they arrived at dry land, the elder went his own way.
Well, Zizi, your story is shaping up very well. Now you must write the conclusion of the story. The conclusion is the most important part of the story. The whole story must lead up to it naturally.
Love realized how much he owed the elder who had saved him, but he had forgotten to ask the elder who he was. Looking around, he found another elder, He asked him, "Who are you?" The elder smiled and said, "I am knowledge." Love then asked, "Do you know who it was that helped save me?" Knowledge answered, "It was time." Love asked, "Time? But why did time help me?" Knowledge smiled with deep wisdom and answered, "Only time is capable of understanding how valuable love is."
Very good, Zizi. Your story is really well written. Great job.
Thank you, Grandma. I finished my story.
Hold on, Zizi. We aren't done yet. Now that you have finished, you need to read through your story one last time to correct any errors. Make sure that your composition is grammatically and idiomatically correct and in simple English. Revise your work and, if necessary, rewrite certain parts until it is as good as you can make it. Well, Zizi, I see that you have written a beautiful story.
Thank you so much for your help, Grandma.
Oh, I enjoyed helping you. I have a few storybooks that I got you. Would you like to take a look at them?
Oh yes, I would love to. Let's go. Didn't we have lots of fun learning to write a story? Let us quickly go through all the points we need to remember while writing a story based on a given line or title. A story is a written account of an event or a course of events. It is usually written in a narrative style to describe an event that has taken place in the past. A story can be developed from a given introductory or opening line. A story can also be developed from a given title. The story that you write should suit the title. The title of the story provides the basis for the main characters and events in the story. The title should be interesting and easy to remember. Write the title using title casing, in which the main words begin with capital letters. Avoid the use of quotation marks and punctuation marks in the title unless it is a sentence. Steps to remember while writing the outline of the story. Think of a plot or a theme for your story. The plot or theme gives a basic idea about the story. Write down the main points of a plot or theme to create an outline. Arrange the points in a logical order. Connect the points naturally using appropriate words so that the story will read as a well-written piece of composition. Present the living and non-living characters in the story as speaking and behaving like human beings. Give names to characters or places that you include in the story to make it more identifiable. Use direct and indirect speech or dialogues when introducing conversations between the characters of your story. A story is divided into 3 parts: the introduction, the body, the conclusion. The introduction of the story should be striking and must evoke interest and many questions in the reader's mind. Develop the plot in the body of your story. Make the story interesting by adding dialogues and character descriptions and actions in a logical and clear manner. You can use interjections and contractions too. The whole story must naturally lead up to the conclusion. The composition must be grammatically and idiomatically correct and in simple English. Revise your work and, if necessary, rewrite certain parts until it is as good as you can make it. Bye. See you soon.